Cornucopias is a cutting-edge open-world MMO set in a world where humanity has ascended from the Earth's surface and created a breathtaking new world in the sky. This fantastical realm is a system of floating islands carved from the land we once called home, now encased in radically advanced dome-shaped structures suspended high above the clouds. Each one is a futuristic marvel with its own unique environment, identity, and thriving communities. It is within these domes the epic journey begins. Here, players take control of their own personal avatar, which gives them the freedom to choose their destiny. Be immersed in vast landscapes, explore vibrant settlements, and engage in a myriad of activities such as crafting, commerce, combat, racing, and more. Welcome to a world where the sky is no longer the limit.
Hey everyone, welcome to Copi Cafe. This is episode 101. You've got Rob Gregg here, Josh Jones. We're back from Rare Evo, and we've got some fun stuff to talk about with you today. And we have a killer special guest that has never been on the show. So excited to invite him up here when we get through our first initial topics. So what you can expect in this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the Solace 1, 2, and 3 release, the Rare Evo recap, a little GPU announcement, reminder, and then what's upcoming. What do we have coming soon? After that, we'll bring Eric up onto the show and then answer some community questions. So I guess, Rob, it's a good point to kick this off. What are you drinking?
Indeed. Well, today I'm drinking a nice, healthy kind of Coke. What are you drinking, Josh?
Okay. Nice, healthy Coke. I'm drinking a Spindrift.
Oh, nice.
Grapefruit flavored. It's really good. It's really good. All right. Let's kick it. So, Rare Evo recap. Why don't we start there? I thought it was a great event. Always amazing to see the people. To me, that's one of the biggest value adds we've had in these past few years of conferences has been seeing the teammates that we have to work with on a daily basis and never get to see physically. So that's a huge privilege, but also seeing the community members that know us and are excited about what we're doing. That's a special thing. But then seeing as well the people that don't know who we are and seeing what their reactions are to playing the game and things like that. And then, of course, industry partners and stuff like that. But what are your...
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I mean, we took 13 members with us for a short while on, I suppose, on Sunday. I lost my wingman as you went to play, as you went to play poker. So
yes, I missed out on a ton of photographs from that one, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I know, but yeah, meeting up with the team, having those meetings, having us all there, I thought it was another great event. I think we put on really good events.
Yeah, it was great. And by the way, I did get the Cornucopias logo and hat on televised.
You did?
Poker Go tournament by
and
getting.
You won as well.
Huh?
You won as well.
Yeah, I did. I got to the final table, which was into the paid range, which was pretty nice. I, of course, wish that I would have made it to the number one position, but I think I finished 6th or 7th.
There's always next year.
There's always next year. Yeah, I'll do it again. So anything else on Rare Evo that you wanted to cover? Well, it was the first. This is a good segue, unless you have something else to add.
Yep.
It was the first introduction of the new build, which everybody now has access to, which released Solace 1, Solace 2, and Solace 3, which are 3 8-kilometer in diameter domes, a massive amount. They're completely curated, completely different. They're not cookie cutter copies.
Yep.
Totally new geography, different elements in each. That gives it a very cool, vast amount of land to explore. That's now been released, but the people at Rare Evo got to see it first, which was really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was good kind of having a deadline, but I mean, the team had to work really hard to get that over the line, and yeah, like you said, you don't really appreciate the Solaces. I mean, that's 2 years of solid work, and now that now that we had that build, we made the decision that we would release it to the public. Probably, I would say probably a month earlier than we were planning on. So we're seeing some early teething problems, which is not a problem because I think the community are more than happy to get the build early. And yeah, the theme zones are absolutely huge. And when you go into the 3 different Solaces, they are, like you say, they're not a carbon copy of each other. One's more rocky, one's got more watering holes. You can see the time and care that's gone into actually hand placing and building and studying the geography. So although they're the same art kit, the feel and the play of the different areas is really, really different, and it's a real testament to the team at how well that it's turned out. It's a really, really good milestone for us.
I completely agree. And also the teams or the addition and what I've seen from community comments around the land plot scanner that shows where the land plots are for those NFT holders that are soon, or those player owned assets that are soon going to be able to link their land and choose a spot, is creating a very exciting buzz around, and a lot of people getting into our servers at once, which is great because that allows us to test performance and other things like that.
Yeah.
But it also just creates this energy around what we're doing. I think you and I talked about it this morning, but one of the amazing things about this land grab is that the whole experience is going to be, it's gamified. You don't know, we don't know yet what is going to be the best location to have. We can only guess based upon certain things that we might want.
Yeah.
And then maybe it means if you're holding a few properties, you select 1 or 2 of them based upon this current go around, but then maybe the other ones you hold off on, and then you gamify this. And then later on, you might be looking for the property that pops up for sale, and holy crap, it's right by a waterfall. And you know that you want that because it's also by a mine, but we just don't have the information yet. So I'm really excited about that aspect of it.
Yeah, and I think it expanded our world by about 100-fold at least. And if you didn't manage to get to Rare Evo, nor do you have a PC to enjoy the build, Late Games Crypto is doing a series at the moment, and a lot of other community members are as well, where you can go and see them running around. So you'll get a kind of a feel. It's obviously not the same as seeing it in 4K playing in front of you, but you get an idea. They're not giving away too many secrets, but they are giving away some of the secrets. But we are also working on an interactive website, which is where the land grab will actually happen. It won't happen in game. It will happen on a website, so people can do it on a PC or on a Mac.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't do it on a mobile, but it will be possible.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just going to be, we haven't determined the exact algorithm for how selection is going to occur, but our goal, as always, with something like this is to make it as fair as possible. Yeah. There's no perfect solution, and we're iterating on that over the next week or 2.
I do have some notes though that Joe and David have given me about the current setup because we are a little bit early. So if I can just go through them, it won't take long, but I think they are important points, and it's to do with, we will be doing some changes to the current land because as you've seen in some land plots, there's some water that's still in some of the arts coming through, maybe some rocks. So in some cases, we will be flattening some of the terrain on the plots where there's kind of large rocks and trees, bushes, and all that kind of stuff. Those will be removing. We'll be adding lampposts and street lights inside the towns to increase the visibility at night. Some of the town centers will be updated
That's
over
huge.
time.
That's actually a big issue I've seen multiple community comments
but everything
the
was
darkness or the
done to
daylight
such
cycle that we have.
Yeah, everything was done to such a tight deadline.
Yeah.
So some of the town centres will be updated with new points of interest. So we could have crafting buildings in there. We might even do maybe a show house to see what the land plots are like. We might be adding some more points of interest. We may possibly add some other buildings, but I do have a note to say don't mention that because it's not been signed off. So I'm not leaking anything there. But then in terms of what won't change, the plot addresses won't change. So if your NFT is chosen and minted, that plot will always remain there. We may slightly move it by a few meters if it's overlapping with another plot, but they're 99.9% fixed. And that's kind of my notes. Yeah, nothing leaked.
Yeah, that's great. And there was one element. There's going to be plenty more changes too, but it's a matter of time. This was pretty far along. We did an excellent job on this release. Yeah. I mean, like you mentioned, I believe in Copi Cafe episode 100, the amount of effort that went into just quality assurance by walking every square foot of each of these zones and looking for issues or bugs or clipping or collision, all of these things. That's a vast undertaking, just the testing of that. Yeah. Not alone the building of it.
But what they didn't do is they didn't do a land plot check. So that's why we've got overlappings. They didn't look at night to see what it looks like. So they're now doing that now. So
yeah,
but I mean,
for
the community, feel free to add those.
Yeah, please do.
Any bugs
and give us your feedback. We're always interested to hear what you guys are experiencing. We watch in the community Discord, all of that good stuff. One thing that I noted from this build release that I really like, it's a feature, if you guys aren't using it, you can pull up the map. I think it's hitting the top arrow on your joystick, but if it's the keyboard, I'm not sure what you hit. But you can pull up the map, and then you can choose the location on that map that you want to get to, and you set that location. Then it will show up on your compass so that you can find your way to that particular location a little more easily.
Yeah, that was a last minute feature that Mateus stuck in that I didn't even know was there, and it's so useful. It's really good.
Very well done for helping us. And there's so much more to come that's going to help us to explore the land in the future. But I actually
got a little bit of FOMO. I found this perfect plot that I wanted.
You did?
And I really want this plot. So
where is it, Rob?
It's
what's the GPS coordinates of this plot?
It's X equals something or other. And I actually put a cheat.
1, 2, or 3.
It will not be hard to work out where it is if you know the name of the towns. But
there's a Foxtown?
It's in Fox Hollow. Yes, it's in Fox Hollow.
No. Okay, thanks. You gave me the clue.
However, nobody else is going to get it. The only people that can get it, I put a cheeky bid in for a legendary land plot, and I got it. So unless I get beat by Mythic, that plot is mine.
All right.
So I got a little bit of fun. That is not financial advice, land advice. It's nothing. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. There is 7,999 other plots. I'm just saying nobody is having this particular one except for me.
Now the entire community is trying to figure out where this plot is in Fox Hollow.
They'll never find it.
So the interesting thing about that for me is that we don't know. We even don't know like exactly what's going to be the most value because we're creating an economy in this game, and we'll shine more light on that later.
Value is subjective.
Philip,
value is subjective.
Yeah, the value is subjective. We don't know how the resource flow is going to go exactly. That's going to be refined over the years. It makes it a lot of fun, in my opinion. Yeah. You select your properties. Maybe you save some to see what's happening in the game. Maybe you pick some. Who knows? All right, we better get to the next topic because we got to get to our special guest as well. here
We'll
soon.
watch
So we have one announcement that I'll just reiterate. We removed the GPU restriction, so there's no more graphic card
That's
restriction.
huge.
What that means, though, is that if you're trying to join from a lower end, not recommended specs, you might have performance issues. So, if you're getting strange issues and you're playing with a 1080 graphics card or whatever, a 2600, whatever it may be, then that could be an explanation for that. But we're always trying to optimize for performance. And I will say this, that in terms of Unreal Engine 5 releases with graphics of this quality, of this amount of, performance drain or performance cost when we have high quality graphics, it's also, there aren't many out there that are having this performance.
No, I think that the card you picked on there, that 1080 Ti. I mean, that's such a special card. It's kind of like the card that will never die. It's such a sweet old card.
Yeah.
But we do have a 6 gigabyte minimum, absolute minimum for the GPU, of which that 1080 is actually higher than that. But I think the issues that I'm seeing with the lower end cards is people playing maybe on Wi-Fi or on a PC, because at the moment we're still optimizing data throughput. So if you're on Wi-Fi and you're maybe in Europe and you're going to America because maybe it's light in America and dark in Europe, the latency plus accessing the game over Wi-Fi, that has a big impact. So if you can stick to your local server and plug in wires and go wired. Over the next build or so, the data will get optimizing, because we're still at the building stage. So we are doing some optimizations, and some would say the game looks really sweet and polished as it is, but it's not. It's still at pre-alpha level.
Yeah, and I will say this, that I was really happy that I made my decision to upgrade to a higher level graphics card. And you and David both, I kind of was sending you guys images, and you're giving me tips on how to install that in my computer. But it worked out great, and I'm really happy with the decision. We definitely in the future can issue, since we have a desktop launcher that reads your specs, your system specs, we can also offer a warning to those that are below the minimum recommended threshold. That way they at least know, hey, this might be why I'm experiencing XYZ. But so far we're doing great with that.
And the final thing probably on that is, we are we updated the roadmap last week, so go and have a look at that. We are looking at implementing DLSS. So those with NVIDIA cards, they should see a big boost definitely by the end of the year, in terms of kind of like FPS and DLSS. It's kind of it's an AI thing that's built onto modern graphics cards, and a lot of modern games are seeing big benefits from that. So we are going down that line definitely. But if you've got a really old card, there's only so much we can do.
Agreed. Performance optimizations all the way around. Okay, we have what's coming up next. We'll save that for the leak section, because our special guest, who's sitting in the green room ready to come up, we want to give him enough time. I know he's tight on time, so we'll save the leak and the community questions for after. And let's just go ahead and get Eric up here. Eric, go ahead and step on up to Copi Cafe. Make sure you're unmuted.
I think I'm unmuted. Yeah.
You are. Good,
There
good.
he is. Hello there.
How's it going?
Oh, good. How are you guys?
Doing very well. I'm
very excited about what's going on here. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you got to listen to a little bit of what's happening at Cornucopias. I know you've had a bit of a behind-the-scenes tour. We want to give you a more complete one now that there's a giant new build release. So we should schedule that with you, Philip, and Jen for as soon as possible. Actually, I think Jen said she did not have a gaming rig, but we can definitely get you and Philip in there. And so I think that'll be exciting. Um, Tell us, man, what before we get too far along, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking some Texas pecan coffee.
Ah,
Ooh.
Yeah, to get
Texas
the day
pecan
started.
coffee.
Second
Yeah,
cup.
and you're in Austin, Texas.
I am. I am. Aren't you in Austin, Texas?
Yes, sir. Well,
Yeah.
Cedar Park, but
Yeah.
we had the privilege of meeting in at Consensus.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great. What a great show that was. You guys
yeah,
were a huge standout there at that show. It was like walking around, looking at a bunch of average projects, and all of a sudden, boom, there you guys were. And it was like, holy shisa, this looks like a quality game. And then I
yeah.
sat down and got enamored and had fun with it. So yeah, I loved it. It was great. You guys really stood
Yeah.
out there.
It was fun having you join us for that dinner. I was thankful.
That pizza, we ate a lot of that pizza. That was good.
That was a good
Yeah,
night. So shall we introduce Eric, who he is, and why he's with us?
Okay,
Yeah,
we can
absolutely,
do that.
absolutely. So Eric is Eric Peterson. He's formerly a co-founder of Star Citizen. Was heavily involved in that project for quite a few years, and in fact, that was one of, along with seeing you at Consensus, meeting you, and enjoying hanging out and just the banter. That was one of the reasons that we invited you to join our board, and so we're really grateful to have you here.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been around a long time. I mean, I come from the Wing Commander, Privateer, Star Lancer, Conquest Frontier Wars field of play. I worked a lot of my career with Chris Roberts, and we did Star Citizen together, and I think I was there about 4 years. We were there early days doing the pre-Kickstarter, that's a crazy ride. And then I left after 4 because it just got to be massive. I didn't want to move to LA. Chris wanted everybody to move to Los Angeles. I'm like, I like Austin. I'll go do something else. So I went and kickstarted Descent and did that and released that. And so, yeah. And then now I'm working at another company that is similar to what we're doing here. Not as, I don't want to say that it's in Web3. Let's just say Web3 has now gotten to the point where I think the early days have realized you just can't make any old product. You need to really push the boundaries like you guys are doing, and now you're getting some quality gaming experiences in Web3, and I'm super excited to be a part of it. Super excited to be here up at Cornucopias. You guys have a couple of artists that I've worked with before, and Kai and Toby, and they're brilliant. I mean, you can see their work. I mean, I can look at something and go, "Yeah, I know that," and your stuff looks amazing.
Yeah, it does, and thank you very much for that. I'm curious if you don't mind, tell us a little bit more of what you did at Star Citizen. You gave us a good general background, but
Sure.
What was your role? You were a co-founder, so you probably wore all hats, I would imagine.
Yeah.
You were there for 4 years, correct?
Yeah, I was president. I think my official title was like president of. Well, I was president of production, or just basically president. When I started there, it was me and Chris wrote the original concept. I think it was called Star Traders or something. Chris wrote a lot of it. I would edit it. We'd go back and forth. We were trying to figure out how to get this thing funded. We'd had several things before, like we tried to get Blinked in. We had a deal with EA. We're doing. We're going to bring Wing Commander back. That sort of, we talked to like Steam about buying them. All these different companies we're doing. You're trying to find some traction in what we wanted to do, and then Star Traders, which is now Star Citizen, we started writing that, and that's kind of it's kind of an extension of what Chris wanted to do on a game called Freelancer, which is another company I founded with him at Digital Anvil. And so it was kind of to the next level. The tech had gotten to a point where you could do a large, huge something. You connect it all together, a lot of what you guys are doing there. So we went and kickstarted it. And well, first of all, we didn't kickstart it. We thought arrogantly, we could do this on our own website. So we went to the games. We had Austin at a little game show. We worked all night. I think we were like 36 hours up, and we wrote the PowerPoint, got it all ready to go. We had our demo, our vertical slice, so we could show people what's going on. Chris goes up on stage. We have our little website ready with our crowdfunding. People can go. We crashed in a minute. It was not even a minute. It was just like people tried to jump in it. 30,000 people at once. It went, spit the bit. And it turns out that one of our other co-founders, in an effort to save some money, had set the limit on the website to 50 people. So that was never going to work.
Oh,
So
they
it
all
just
tried to log in and play.
Yeah, so not play, just to get in and
just go and look
the game, right?
Right.
And so that crashed. So we ended up having to overhaul that, and we did a Kickstarter to supplement the main page, and then we did 30 days.
The exact Kickstarter brand.
Do what?
The Kickstarter brand that builds their business model is to crowdsource.
Yes, we did that, and I think we raised like 2.2 or 2.3 on Kickstarter, and another 6 or 7 on our website in the 35 days we did the crowdfund, and then we took off from there, and then we started making commercials for ships, and
6 or 7 million.
Yeah, I think we did about 7 on the first 35 days.
Wow, in 30 days.
Wow. Yeah, and then we hit like then we started doing like 10 million a weekend when we do we do these really large ships. Like there was one point I was doing lots of live streaming. I had a show called Wingman's Hangar, like what you guys are doing here. We would do 24-hour live streams where we would invite the fans to come in and hang out with us. So they were sending us like booze, which always loosened us up quite a bit. And we were streaming the whole thing, the whole shebang. So we would be the day of the live stream. The office be working with 30 people. We were in this basement in downtown Austin, and there'd be just fans running around the office. You get to meet the fans, talking to them, hanging out. I really like this. I really like that. And in the meantime, they're bringing in pizza and booze, and we're drinking and partying and having fun and live streaming it all. We were selling 50 constellations at I think $4,000 a piece. Now constellations were shipped. You could have I think up to 11. I can't remember it's been years, but it was a cruise ship, so you could have multiple people playing with you.
Yeah, I think your game is the Star Citizen is it's a unicorn. I mean, it's raised now 750 million from.
Yes, and
it's unheard of.
It is unheard of, but I think that a lot of that was. Space games at that time were dead, and we've all seen this. We're all old enough to know that people say, like, I think the next thing to come back is probably real-time strategy games because people said they're dead. They're probably going to have an renaissance, like Baldur's Gate 3, which showed you that a good RPG game is going to be quality, and they've sold, 15, 20 million copies. So a good game's a good game, essentially. People will flock to a quality product. That's again why Cornucopias is so good, because you got... The look of your product is outstanding. It's Unreal 5, which is state-of-the-art, engine-wise. And you've got some incredible environmental artists. And, I mean, I just think the gameplay, you guys can have so much going on from, you can have gang warfare, you can have different looks at each location of dress and stuff so you can recognize who's in what. You guys could literally do House of Dragons, or you could do just almost anything like that. You could do...
I hope you're not leaking our
ideas.
Oh, I'm not. I don't know. People, I don't know if they're doing it. I'm just kind of pushing suggestions.
I don't know.
We occasionally iterate on certain things, and it would be good to get you in some of our.
I'd love to. I love people say making games is fun, right? It's like, but the truth is, it's hard slog. It's like if let's say you have a game cycle of 3 years, you have 2.5 years of playing a game. It's just crap. And people have to trust that it's going to get there, right? Yeah. It can look beautiful, but there's not much to it. And then the last 6 months where you're polishing, all of a sudden it just turns into this beautiful thing. And it's like, so people think that you're sitting there playing cool, fun games all day. It's not. You're building widgets. You're building rocks and painted rocks and building ships and cars. And then they're crashing into things. And it's hard work, but it's also extremely rewarding when your fans get to see it. And I know you guys are letting your fans in early, and they're playing and they're having fun. They're testing for you. I mean, that's amazing. I love the new direction we're taking in the industry where the fans are part of the sausage being made. And I don't think there's any going back from that. I mean, publishers have always like closed the door and like held the curtain. They're the guy behind the green curtain in Wizard of Oz, right? Now the curtain's open now. We're all paying attention to what's going on. And you can avoid going down certain pathways that would be devastating to your development you have to know what to listen to the fans for and what to go, okay, they don't know the whole picture here yet.
One thing you did mention just a while ago that I found entertaining is you said you can only do so much. And that's something that Rob and I have both we had we do have a huge vision for this game.
Yes.
But we've had to come to terms with the realities of game building and how much time it takes to do certain things, and then choose the order of events appropriately.
And that's key. That's key to success. You've got to navigate that minefield, right? Because if you go for some of the bigger pictures, unless you have enormous amounts of cash coming in all the time, then you can just do more, like the other project. You have to be smart about what you do. Like, I think you guys are doing it right. You're building the different areas to go into, and then and you're connecting them all with transit and everything else. And so you've got to be smart about what you pick, and that's what you're doing. On the game I'm on now, we're doing a hover bike game right now, which is a combat style hover bike. We're having tournaments. Right, there's $15,000 we're giving away this very week. So it's kind of like, and so that's the direction we've taken. It's
how many do you expect to join the tournament with that 15,000 giveaway?
So what's that again?
Have you projected or speculated on how many might show up for this tournament?
Well, we have 4 qualifiers. We've already done 2. And you have to have 32 qualifiers. The top 32 qualify for the Saturday final. We've already had yesterday and today. I'm actually hosting today at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, 1 o'clock Central Time, 12 o'clock Mountain Time. And we're using our Hong Kong server because it's going to be an Asia-specific qualifier. And, we just do it that way. And we give away $300 a day, too, to random people that are – and, we have Polygon sponsored us. And so they gave us some money, and they're sponsoring the tournament. And we're giving
that's great.
To the fans.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only that, it's also rewarding people for just being there and following along.
Yep.
And
hoverbike racing, you say?
Do what?
Hoverbike racing.
Well, it's not racing; it's a combat. It's more Rocket League. You pick up a
Rocket League, but on hover bikes.
Yeah, but with combat. You're blowing people up, and you should try it out. It's free to play right now.
That sounds awesome. I love Rocket League. That's a fun game.
Yeah.
We'll put some links in the description.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of physics programming then, obviously.
Do what?
Sounds like a lot of physics programming then, obviously.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. We're really solving problems, but we have to do it. It's now a matter of messaging correctly. So I think Web3 is inevitable. I don't think it is. I don't think we have the trust yet of the Web2 gamers, but we're getting it with projects like yours and projects like ours. It's going to take some time to get over the humps that went through.
They need to see real quality,
real games,
experience the benefits of a player-owned asset.
If you're a cleric in Diablo 3 or whatever, 4, whatever, and you pick up a +5 fire sword, what are you going to do with that? You can't use it, right? Why can't you then go sell it to somebody who can use it? What's wrong with that? Why do we as developers give a crap about that? Let somebody make some money at it.
And I think being able to buy, say, a higher level of anything it is fine, but that doesn't mean to say that you have the skill, because you've not built the skill up for it. So you'll go into battles that are out of your league, and you'll just get right. You'll find out the hard way.
Right. But it's a fast pass as well, right? It's like going to Disneyland or Disney World, and you get the fast pass, you show up and skip the line. So
and quickly die.
I don't have the 100 hours to grind for that. And by the way, most of these things, most of the good ones right now, you can grind for anything in the game. But you might as well be able to fast pass and buy it if you want to skip ahead. And I think that's actually a really good way. And like you said, sort of become a target. If you got this new fancy something and you're a level 1 person, hey, come over here.
We're doing that in some ways, but trying to dodge the pay to win aspect as well.
That's right. It's not, you don't necessarily, I don't think you gain an advantage by some of that. I mean, it's a balance thing. Yeah, and I know there's all this pay to win, pay to earn, pay to get ahead, whatever. It's to me, it's pay to save time. If you want to, and again, it's completely voluntary. You don't have to. You can grind your way through whatever you want, and that's perfectly fine too.
Yeah, I think it's with all of those factors. It's about balancing it in a way that works, because the mission is to create something that's entertaining and fun.
Yeah,
and you have to keep all of those aspects in your mind when strategizing around what the exact approach is. For sure,
Josh, you said the most important word of any game ever made. There's only one word that matters: fun. That's it. we're competing with movies, we're competing with television, we're competing with YouTube on our phone for attention spans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all that matters is, am I entertaining you by playing our products, right?
I completely agree. We just have one differentiator, maybe more, one differentiator that's significant over TV, radio, other entertainment avenues, which is the interactive component of gaming.
You're the hero.
Yeah, you
we've
can
got
choose your
full
adventure,
immersion
and you can shape
interactivity.
it.
Do what, Rob?
You can choose your adventure, and you can. And with our game, you can actually shape the environment because you're building land plots that other people are then coming and interacting with. There's not go and play on this server and the same thing exists over here. There's just one. You might be on multiple servers, but they're sharing the same database, so it's the same experience.
That's the point. We're all at the end of the day, we're all mammals, right? We're wolf pack. And people want to belong to a pack. They want to stand out. Everybody wants to be the silverback or the grayback, So if you want people to come to your Adobe or your house or your boat or whatever and see what you've done in there. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be the Red Baron, And so why don't we let them? We let them in our universe. We let them build their structures the way they want. We let them, have their cars, paint them, whatever, build the look, the geometry on there. That's the fun part of it. And that's how, you say, hey, look, there goes Josh, flying by so you can see, hey, or you go, there goes Josh, you shoot at him as he's flying by, whatever it takes. It's being recognized and being different and being we're all wanting to escape, but the world is going as it is today. Nothing better than escapism. And that's what we're providing. And that's what I believe Web3 is providing more so these days than the kind of railed structure of a lot of games and publishers. That's another point. We are actually there's more freedom in our area of game making than there is under publishers. Publishers' monies have dried up. And so, we're allowing, because of the people out there that are investing in us, that are believing in us, we're able to do more creative things, and we're able to go in different directions that you won't get out of an EA or a Microsoft or anything like that.
Well, that's another, argument for the point that what you said, which I completely agree with, and Rob does as well, otherwise we wouldn't be here, which is that Web3 is inevitable. That was the way you said it. In gaming, Web3 is inevitable. Mm-hmm. And I think I set this up at the conference and on a panel as well. But I think in 5 years, there's not really a choice anymore. There's not a mainstream or a Web3.
That's right.
All game studios will be doing Web3 because
it's just games. At that point, it's just games, and that's the thing is that we're all headed that direction, and it's just going to take pioneers like you guys to get out there and to do some really cool that people enjoy. That can go, oh, this is actually really fun. This isn't mafia laundering money. This is actually
the business models. They're not bad. I mean, if Fortnite realized how much money they would make out of a secondary market,
I think they're doing okay though.
I think they are. Yeah. They're doing, and they kind of stumbled into that. It's like. Mm-hmm.
There are companies raising money to make games in their creator thing inside Fortnite, and
we're hoping to offer something similar when we have our custom domes.
A billion %, and that's smart. I mean, you need to have, and that's another way you solve problems. You're offering gamers money to make games inside your stuff, and it's like, that.
Well, another point you made. Or I've heard, at least through multiple conversations with you as well, as this theme of community, which has been something that has been one of our core values, is just building relationships with our community. Mm-hmm. But I'm interested to hear your take on it, because we found it to be very, it's the ethos of Web3, right? But it makes it so much more fun. Like, for example, a specific example, one of our guilds will get together, or multiple guilds, they'll get together as a group and go in and explore the land and meet on a mountaintop and take a photo of it. And they're doing just fun stuff they're creating within what we're creating, which is amazing. But I'm just curious your take on all that.
I think that's accurate. I mean, it's just, they're doing stuff in the game. Look, we build these environments and we put rule sets in there. and they break them. They go find ways to be fun inside. And sometimes you go, wow. And you start, like, they do something interesting and you start pulling that thread and it actually changes. You maybe change the game type. You can put another game type in because, hey, whoa, look at this. Is really cool.
Yeah.
So I love community stuff like that. And then they start to get together in real life. Like on Star Citizen, we started this thing called, or the guy that I worked with on the Wingman's Hangar show started Bar Citizen. Now there are bar citizens all over the world of people getting together and hanging out and just being, citizens of the universe. And so,
I can see it happening already. Corn bar.
Yeah, corn bar. See, exactly. Why not? It's like, that's the fun because, and sometimes devs show up and have fun with them, interact. I think that's the thing, is it when publishers ran everything, they kept everything behind closed doors. They made the game and we were doing Wing Commander. We just head down and nobody knew who we were. And just the box said Chris Roberts game, but there were 50 or 80 of us behind there making that game. So nowadays with Web3, they get to know us and they realize, shoot, we're just like them. And I think everybody loves to be part of something. And you're letting them in. You find a lot of ideas. I mean, how many times have you guys been in the industry where people find out you're making games and they say, "Oh, I got an idea for a game." Everybody, right? And so some of them are really good. Some of mine are really crap, though. So I know I don't mind throwing my ideas out there and people going, "Eric."
And people like you say, they like to be part of a faction or part of a group. That's why I'm getting really passionate about the district that I'm going to be part of, and I will be promoting that district in the future once I build my little
I mean, you guys could have warriors come out to play. I mean, you guys could do so much with your districts. I love the concept. I love the idea of some of the planet like being scorched or whatever, and you can still have some. Oh, sorry.
Some of the lore. No, you're good. We're about to release a little bit more lore as well. So,
yeah. and the lore is fun too. People love lore. I mean, it's like, and honestly, that's probably one of the most fun things to do in games is to write the lore or to work with teams and brainstorm about that. And because it's just like the first 3 to 6 months on a project are really fun, the pre-pro stage, and then it's slog, and it's going the wrong direction and recorrecting, and then
you got to build a team and everything that comes with that, and politics and all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, I think on Star Citizen, I hired the first 400 people.
Wow.
On the team. Yeah, they got 1,200 now. They're incredibly huge. I mean, they're
you hired the first 400 people.
I did. I was president. I ran HR. I ran the dev team. I did the community. You know how it is. You wear multiple hats when you're building things up, and then it becomes.
But we need to bring you in for some recruiting, man.
Do I? Well, I'll be honest. A lot of the people that I was on, I worked 100-hour weeks on Star Citizen for 2, 3, 4 years. And that's one of the reasons
part time.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, part time.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I kind of went off and did Descent. I was like, do something smaller. Plus,
the hours are insane.
They are.
You put the time in.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, you still can say, I was part of that. I made that. I made that happen. I was part of it. So, and I'm very proud of what they're doing right now. They're doing some really cool stuff. I can't wait to play Squadron 42, just like everybody else. But I've also got other games I got to get.
Yeah, and even your early days. I grew up PC games with. Well, I playing Wing Commander. I mean, that's your nickname, the Wingman.
That's why I chose Wingman, honestly. And I'm actually in a lot of those Wing Commanders. I think it was Primate in Wing Commander 3. I can't remember all the names I was in there. But yeah, and I'm Starland. I've always done the voices in a lot of those things too. It's kind of fun.
Well, I want to be respectful. You said we've had a blast talking with you, and we could probably keep this going for another 2 hours.
Come on again.
But you did mention a hard stop. I think we might have gone past it. Are we okay?
I'm good for about another 5 to 10 minutes if we need to.
Okay, cool.
That's all right. I'm having a great time anyway, so it's like the team can wait a little. I told them I was gone, so.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that, and apologies to your team from us.
They're all right. We do have a tournament to do today, though, so
Well,
That's going to be fun.
tell us a little bit more about what you're working on then, because we can direct some people over to what you're doing. And
okay, yeah, great. If you don't mind, we're building the Unioverse. We raised a bunch of money, I think about $10 million a couple years ago, and I just joined in April, and we hired some of the most important names in the industry, people who've made Star Wars, the Dune novels, and we wrote all this great lore. Essentially, mankind has discovered a Stargate on Mars that we didn't know how to work it, and then one guy goes through and figures it out, and goes to this hub which has 40 different races, and you can go off into all these different planets and play, and so it's a Web3 project. We're building the first couple games. One's Proving Grounds, which is kind of like an escape room, battle the bots, get out, and then Hoverdrome, which is a 3D bike, and custom bike racing, not really racing, combat game, kind of a Rocket League style thing. And then, our plan is to do the TGE, which is coming up this next month.
Oh,
I know. Our it's TGEs. You just don't know what to expect, because it's
especially in this current market. It's a little wild right now.
Well, it is what it is. We've been able to. We've got some pretty big KOLs out there working for us, and the momentum's moving the right direction. So we're hopeful. We'll see. So
that's great, man.
Yeah, and the game's out. You can play the game now. Just go to unioverse.com, hit play now, and you got 2 games up there. You can download them for free. They will not be for free forever. We're gonna start charging for it fairly soon. But if you get it now, you'll have it forever.
That's awesome. What's the just send us the URLs and the information, because we can include some of that in the description, or whatever. But
sure,
yeah,
I appreciate that. That's nice.
Yeah,
sure. But I'm also about here. I love what we're doing here too. I think this is really cool.
So I was going to say, we're glad to have you on board, Eric. You're obviously well connected. We've had some good chats. We've definitely
thank you.
Taken a lot of notes. We will have some football banter in the future as well.
Oh, I know you're a City supporter. You rotten man. I'm United, but we're terrible right now. Well, we're growing, I guess.
Man United fan that doesn't live in England. There's the first.
How was that? How did that work out?
I was working. So when I was on Digital Anvil, I was making a game called Starlancer, and it was being done in Manchester. So I was living in Manchester, England, in Cheadle actually, and we had season tickets to Old Trafford. This is back when Ruud van Nistelrooy was there, and just Beckham and all the '92 people, and it was just a blast. It was great. I had a great
class of '92.
Really immersed in the culture, huh? Class of '92. That's right.
Yeah, I've seen that on the History Channel.
Yeah, Giggsy. we didn't get a Russian oligarch to come in and spend extra money to get players. Or no, you guys got the Arab guy, right? They came in the
we got the nice money.
You got the nice money.
You guys got big money.
Huge.
Wow. Yeah.
So
it's not always about having the most money. It's about using it wisely, and we used it wisely.
Well, we've struggled since Ferguson left. You guys have.
He's still there every week.
Yeah, but he's not really.
I enjoy when the camera goes on him and he's crying.
He's got that look of frustration, like, how do you give up a goal in the 96th minute?
Yeah,
which is every week for us.
Did the fantasy league start already, Rob?
You were doing? It did. Yeah, we've got an internal fantasy league, Eric. You can come and join us.
Oh, that'd be.
So it's not too late to join.
No, we can still join.
Left on what am I going to get, like Wamba Soccer or something? As my striker?
It's in our Discord. It's in a channel in our Discord, right?
Yeah, we shared it in the sports
I'm on the
channel.
Discord. Yeah. Cool.
Well, hey man, I want to thank you for number one, just agreeing to join us as an advisor. I hope. I do believe you've chosen that reason, to spend your time wisely. I think we're a great project. I know you saw something in us.
Yeah, for sure.
And we thank you for joining us on Copi Cafe, episode 101. Yeah,
I love it. Thanks, guy. 101 on the way to 400 and 500 and 600. You
got it. We'll keep it going. So next up is what's next up.
Community questions or the leak?
No. What's coming? What do we have going? What's next up? Which is we are currently building the purple track for racing. We're preparing for the F9R sale, which involves some fixes to the yellow track. And so there's just a little bit of racing work going on. We've got Esperanza, the environment team, is starting to work on Esperanza, building out the art assets for that. We have a lot on the roadmap for the next 90 days. I just reviewed that, the work that you and David were doing on that, and it looks remarkable. Exciting.
Lots of gameplay. A leak coming up in a few weeks. I can't wait for that. Neither can the community. They don't know what it is, but they're going to absolutely love it. And
yeah, I know, and I think we still need some team iterating and planning around that, or at least you and I, to get in there and do kind of what we do often with ideas, just to make sure there's nothing that we've missed or whatever. I can't. I'm hard pressed to think that we could add something to that next 90, but if we could, and it was worth it, we just need to do.
I'm not sure which one you talk about, but we're working on two special things. Yeah, I'm sure you were talking about one of them.
I'm talking about both, really. I think they both need to be given a little bit more thought. One of them in particular, that's the bigger of those two, is the one that I'm mostly talking about, just to make sure that we can communicate with David and be aligned on the plans for that before we get too far along.
Well, we're going to do some more planning around those coming up. We're also Michael's working on the website. That's coming along quite nice. I was hoping to get
not just the website,
the land plotting. I was hoping to get a leak into that, but I mean, he's just as protective as David used to be. So we need to soften him up a little bit.
No, we got to work on him. We need to get Michael up on Copi Cafe. Maybe he can be the next guest after we've had Jen and Philip up.
Yeah.
As well.
But what we've done with that is we've managed to extract all the land plots out of all the Solaces, and so we have them now on the website. So that is taking shape really, really well. So and obviously in preparation for the great land grab.
Yeah, and it's exciting. We've already got that. You might have noticed from the recent build, some of you guys, where you can actually click and it sends you to the website. Yeah, there's a reason for that will be applied in the future with some of that development.
Yeah, it will actually pop up the website. We'll do that internally with APIs, but for now, like I say,
we changed that plan.
Well, that was always the case, but everything was kind of rushed a little bit just to get it through to Rare Evo. So they left that.
Okay, that was just somebody's fun idea, and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
got it. Well, either way, we've got a system for determining your plot location, GPS, all of that good stuff, and it's all in the works. And we need to meet on and plan out that algorithm and exactly how that's going to be as fair as we can make it. So next up is community questions.
Okay.
If you want, can you want to copy them in here, and I'll ask you, because I haven't had a chance to review them yet. So first question is from Mean Little of the Mafia. Will the trip from Solace to Fortune and Esperanza be as long as the trip from Toledo to Solace?
I think it'll probably be longer. No, it will be the same if you're traveling from Toledo. We do know that that journey at the moment is very much has a few issues with it. So in a future bug, we are going to allow people to start either in Solace 1, 2, or 3. That was confirmed today. But when all those bugs are then ironed out, eventually, then travel is via the public transport or via your own NFTs in the future. That will be a lot quicker than using the public transport. And you will also be able to start in the sector apartments, so you don't have to have the travel. And you will also be able to start in your own land plot, should you have one or more of them. So there's going to be lots of ways for getting into the game quicker in the future. But at the moment, we're very, very early. You get the first look, the first exploration, and it has pros and cons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the travel's kind of fun, but I do understand when you're when you're waiting for a couple of minutes on arriving at a location.
And we'll speed all those up as well.
Yeah. So, okay, next question from Lofty. Supposing that only, let's say, 7,000, 8,000 plots get grabbed during land grab 1 on Solace, and rarities have had a chance to place, what happens? Does the land grabbing remain open indefinitely to those with land deeds, or does the land grabbing get paused and only reopened once the next world of Esperanza and Fortune have their land grabs?
Yeah, I mean, those definitely are the two choices, to keep it open or to close it off. And I think we're going to leave it open, because I spoke to David today. He thinks that's the best bet.
Yeah, agreed. And, to some of what I've said earlier, it's just, you can choose your plot now or not choose your plot now, and this just kind of gamifies the process. How do you want to handle your upcoming decisions related to Solace, Esperanza, or Fortune, and all of that? So I think it just makes it a lot more fun.
Yep.
Okay, next question from Levi. How far apart will the land grabs after Solace be from each other? Will seasonal rewards start for people who place land on Solace?
Yeah. So how far will the land grabs be from Solace from each other? Whenever Esperanza is ready, we're happy with it. So I can't give a definite time for that, and the same for Fortune. I don't know. So there'll probably be different times, but as we've seen with Solace, you need a good few weeks to get your bearings and go around. So we will give you enough time to go around there. And for seasonal rewards, if we do start doing rewards before all the land has been released and claimed, we will obviously make that fair. So we won't just say only Solace people. It will encompass everybody.
Yeah, we're always trying to make sure that gets done as fairly as possible.
Yeah,
completely agree. Okay, well, I think we're up to the leak. Do you have that ready to share? David
created an art book, and we have some ideas what we're going to do with this art book. Every obviously, as we're showing people. So I'm going to skip through. There's about 51 or 52 pages of this. So we're going to do this over a number of weeks. There is some new stuff in here that people haven't seen, and there will be some familiar stuff. However,
this will grow over time.
Yes.
This is obviously an art book at its current phase. We will continue to add images to this as well.
Yeah. And we may mint them as NFTs. We may give them away. We don't really know. We'll see if people like the look of it. Some of these I would obviously like to hang a few of these on my wall.
This one is sick. That's one of my favorites.
I mean, it's not just the domes. You can see it in the background. There's other stuff going on. So like I say, a lot of this stuff has a few leaks in here.
Yeah.
We have Kalido by night. That looks great. Here's a work in progress. This is kind of Esperanza, something or other.
Well, it's Esperanza on a projected movie screen, it seems like, inside of a Western-themed... I think it's just prototyping.
Yeah.
David having some fun.
We can't say, but
it's an art book, so some of this is early. It's a projection of ideas that we're thinking about.
Some of it will happen, some of it won't, but we'll just leave it to your imagination and speculation. That's what it's here for. We've seen the bears, so this was created. This is how bears could evolve to quantum bears. A few different art styles put together, and there we have a scene. Is this the scene that eventually made its way into
I believe that is in Solace.
Yeah.
In the underbelly of the dome.
In the monorail. Yeah.
Yeah.
And wolves.
Oh, of course you like that.
Well, these are wolves.
Oh, that's not a fox. Okay, that's a...
No.
Well, that big tail makes it look kind of nice.
This is just, these next three images are my favorite, which I think would make some really nice wall art.
I was blown away by the by the work on this, and it was done so quickly.
Yeah.
But I know he used some existing assets, but it was, there we go.
There we go. There's a fox.
Fox that you love.
And there's a
stuff.
wolf. I'm sure in the future we'll have fox v wolves of some kind, even if it's not just people with nicknames. Mm-hmm. It's already started.
I can't wait to get the animals in the game. How many are you going to show here?
Only a few more, not many.
Okay.
Because then we have.
Sorry, I'm not trying to hold back information from you guys, but we do have.
No, we're going to end on a big one.
We want to release this.
I'm building up to a big one. So we got more Solaces, and then there we go. There's a bit of concept art for you.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
The calamity.
It's gorgeous. I love it. All right. Well, that's our link for today. It's fun, and this was a great episode 101. It's good to be back. As you might see, I'm in what was, if you were watching Copi Cafe a year ago, so about 50 episodes back, maybe 48 episodes back, I forget how many exactly we missed or whatever, but you go back about that number, then you might realize that I was in what people thought I was kidnapped and being held hostage inside of a little shack. I'm still in that, but now it's been redone and remodeled somewhat. So there's progress, thankfully. But I'm not being held hostage. Just wanted to make everybody aware of that. We got you back. All as well. That was fun. What the community was speculating. That was a funny thing. Anyway, great episode. Good to see you all. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. Got me in the game all day. Game all day long. What would the doctor say? Play till the sun goes away. Faster than a torpedo.